87.9 FM.
From the radio service of Freedom Communications Incorporated, pleasant good morning and welcome to the weekend presentation of Freedom News Insight. Today is Friday, the 15th day of September 2023. A pleasant good morning. My name is Wendell Nimna, welcoming you to this edition of Freedom News Insight. Let's take the headlines. President George Weah departs Liberia for international engagements and to participate in the 78th United Nations General Assembly. National Legislature convenes dialogue with Korean delegation discusses series of productive issues aimed at enhancing economic and social ties between Liberia and South Korea. Liberia Telecommunications Authority holds technical meetings to address communication and security measures to ensure a transparent and peaceful electoral process for the upcoming October 10 presidential and legislative elections. And away from Liberia, Mali's ruling junta has canceled festivities planned for the anniversary of the country's independence celebrated on September 22. These plus other developments all coming up in this edition of Freedom News Insight. Let's take a short break to be right back. Many thanks for rejoining us this morning. President George Weah and entourage have departed Liberia for international engagements and to form part of the 78th United Nations General Assembly. The 78th UN General Assembly will take place beginning September 18 to 26 at the time of unprecedented setbacks on global progress under the theme Rebuilding Trust and Uniting Global Voluntary Solidarity, accelerating action on the 2030 Agenda and its sustainable development goals towards peace, prosperity, progress, and sustainability for all. The earth is getting hotter, faster, while poverty and food insecurity are worsening amid war and inflation, with humanitarian needs escalating in scale and cost, as well as deepening inequality. During the UNGA 78, President George Weah and other world leaders, including young leaders, will discuss and debate how to confront the global oil crisis and find strategies to accelerate action on 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. At the summit, leaders and communities will also reaffirm their commitment to the Sustainable Development Goals at the halfway mark to 2030. They will also present a moment where leaders will demonstrate their collective commitment to respond to the mounting climate emergency. The National Legislature Thursday welcomed a distinguished Korean delegation for a series of productive meetings aimed at enhancing economic and social ties between the two nations. House Speaker Dr. Boffa Chambers and Senate Pro Tempore Abbott Tubachir Thursday received the Korean delegation, recognizing the mutual benefits of a closer partnership. The Speaker, on behalf of the House of Representatives, expressed the legislature's dedication to fostering deeper ties and exploring opportunities for expanded economic and social collaboration. Senate Pro Tempore Abachia said as both nations work to strengthen their partnership, the visit of the Korean delegation marks a significant step toward building a brighter future of cooperation and cultural exchange between Korea and Liberia. The delegation's visit holds special significance as Korea seeks Liberia's support in its bid to host the World Expo 2030, a global event that promises to bring nations closer together through cultural exchange and collaboration. The visiting Korean delegation, led by Ho Sung-song, the Sung, the president and chief executive officer of Kia Corporation and team, are in Liberia with an objective to strengthen diplomatic relations and explore opportunities for mutual growth and cooperation. The discussion with the leadership of the legislature revolved around the strengthening of economic partnership, cultural exchanges, and education collaborations. At the same time, the ambassador of South Korea to Liberia, with concurrence accreditation to Liberia, Kim Young-ji, while accompanying the delegation, disclosed that his country, the People's Republic of South Korea, is concluding diplomatic efforts to donate 100 vehicles to Liberia. Ambassador Yong-chil also revealed that South Korea will be extending an invitation to Liberia to form part of his government plans to host its first South Korea-Africa Cooperation Summit in Seoul next year. The Korean diplomat also emphasized the importance of building a robust partnership between Liberia and Korea. He said the delegation visit to Liberia signifies South Korea's deep commitment to forging a strong relationship with Liberia. Ambassador Kim Yong-chang further asserted that he believes that the shared values and goals make Liberia an ideal partner, both economically and culturally. He also expressed optimism that Liberia will support South Korea's bid to host the World Expo 2030, as it will further strengthen global ties and create opportunities for mutual prosperity. The Liberia Telecommunications Authority Wednesday convened a technical meeting to address communications and security measures to ensure a transparent and peaceful electoral process for the upcoming October 10th presidential and legislative elections. The gathering, held at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex in Congotown, brought together stakeholders, including Madam Devietta Brown-Lassana, chairperson of the National Elections Commission, representative from the Commission, the National Security Advisor, mobile network operators, and Internet service providers. During the meeting, National Elections Commission chairperson Madam Brown-Lassana formally requested the establishment of a no-cost text messaging system. The system will play a crucial role in disseminating election-related information to the public. Mobile network operators also expressed their interest in obtaining technical details from the National Elections Commission to better understand the specific requirements and ensure seamless cooperation. The meeting concluded with an agreement to meet at the Commission's headquarters subsequently for a follow-up session, which aims to delve deeper into the aforementioned issues and further strengthen collaboration in support of a free, fair, and transparent elections process. Magistrates of the National Elections Commission who hear election-related disputes have participated in a series of mock hearings, a decision drafting exercises designed to simulate real-world electoral dispute scenarios. The mock election dispute resolution administrative hearing lectures and exercises will enhance the skills of magistrates in the adjudication process. The training was facilitated by international experts, NEC officers, and Liberian legal practitioners who provided case scenarios and directives that explain the distinctions between election dispute resolution, administrative hearings, and ordinary court proceedings. The workshop conferred critical phases and responsibilities incumbent upon elections magistrates, including presiding over hearings, conducting fact that's fact-finding missions, resolving complaints, and drafting legally sound decisions, and ensuring documentation for the Board of Commissioners' reference in the event of appeals. The workshop was organized through a collaborative effort involving the National Elections Commission, the Independent Hearing Office (UNDP) Liberia, and partners European Union in Liberia, Irish Aid, and the Embassy of Sweden in Monrovia. The Director General of the National Commission on Higher Education, Dr. Edward Wokoyel, has lauded the Ministry of Education for the launching over 900,000 copies of textbooks and teacher guides for use in senior secondary schools in Liberia. The Ministry of Education, through the Improving Results in Secondary Education project, with support from the World Bank, Wednesday officially launched the initiative. The textbooks produced comprise mathematics, English, language arts and literature, chemistry, physics, and biology. Dr. Wonkayo, speaking during the exercise, said the initiative will enhance excellence in the education sector in Liberia. Also speaking at the launching ceremony, the proxy of the World Bank country representative to Liberia, Ms. Binta Massaquoi, expressed delight in the initiative. She pledged the World Bank continued support to improving education in Liberia. The Center for African Research Scholarly PAB, in collaboration with the Liberia National Students Union, has officially launched the National Study Abroad Symposium. Speaking during the launch of the initiative Thursday at the Lensu's office in Cinco, the executive director of the Center for African Research Scholarly PAB, Wanto Tia Wanto, disclosed that the two symposiums will be held under the theme "Empowering Liberians for Professional and Academic Opportunities: Mapping Your Study Abroad Journey." Wanto added that the summit aims to equip participants with the knowledge, skills, and resources necessary to navigate the intricate process of studying abroad. For his part, Liberia National Students Union President Mohammed Gandhi Kamara expressed delight in the union's collaboration with the Center for African Research Scholarly Path. He said Linsu will ensure the success of the summit as he encouraged Liberian students to take advantage of the opportunity. The political leader of the Liberia Rebuilding Party, Councillor Luther Yofi, has decried decline in relationship Liberians have with God and their fellow citizens, decline in rebuilding lives, and rebuilding the economy and infrastructure. Speaking with Freedom News Wednesday, Yofi said any society that ignores God and the basic needs of citizenry is bound for destruction. He said under the government of the Liberian Rebuilding Party, such conditions will be addressed. At the same time, the Liberia Rebuilding Party political leader, Councillor Luther Yofi, expressed dismay over the level of poverty in the country despite vast resources. He named bad governance, corruption, and other vices as key to the underdevelopment of Liberia. something he said would change under the leadership of the Liberia Rebuilding Party. The leadership of the Liberia Pharmaceutical Students Association has highlighted plans ahead of the celebration of the World Pharmacy Day. Speaking with Freedom News Thursday, the president of the Liberia Pharmaceutical Students Association, Romeo Gono, said the program, which is expected to take place on September 25, will bring together pharmacists from across the country to inform the world of the importance of pharmacists. Gono said the essence of the celebration is to set an agenda for the years ahead, retrospect on the work that have been done, and to appreciate their profession. He added that pharmacists are important in the health sector as they are involved in patients' care, proper drug delivery, and manufacturing of medications. Romeo Gordon further explained that while anticipating the celebration, a public health outreach campaign will be observed to inform the public about the rightful use of medications and the role of pharmacists in Liberia. He used the occasion to rally health workers to join in commemorating the World Pharmacist Day and encourage interested individuals to make use of the School of Pharmacy as the profession cuts across all sectors. Now let's take this foreign development. Mali's ruling junta has cancelled festivities planned for the anniversary of the country's independence celebrated on September 22. The announcement was made public Wednesday following a council of ministers. Last year, Guinea's ruling military leader attended the military parade organized for the festivities of Mali's 62nd independence anniversary. During Wednesday's Council of Ministers, Mali's military leader ordered the government to allocate the funds planned for this year's festivities to help victims of the series of recent attacks and their families. The council also discussed the possible mobilization of reservists. The announcement of Sobo Independence Anniversary coincides with a renewed military activity by the Tuareg separatists and a succession of attacks attributed mainly to the Al-Qaeda-linked Jihadist Alliance Support Group for Islam and Muslims (GSIM). On Tuesday, Tuareg armed separatist groups lauded or launched an offensive against army positions in the garrison town of Borim, which the army said had repelled. The two sides provided contradictory reports of events, but both reported dozens of dead. And that's the Ship of Freedom News Bulletin. We're taking a short break. When we come back, we bring you the voices of those behind the news. Stay tuned as we take our break. Welcome back to the continuation of Freedom News Insight. Let's now take our first development. The Center for African Research, Colony PAD, in collaboration with the Liberia National Students Union, has officially launched the National Study Abroad Symposium. Speaking during the launch of the initiative Thursday at the LASU's office in Cinco, the executive director of the Center for African Research, Colony PAD, Wanto Tia Wanto, disclosed that the two symposium will be held under the theme Empowering Liberians for Professional and Academic Opportunities, Mapping Your Study Abroad Journey. Wanto added that the summit aims to equip participants with the knowledge, skills, and resources necessary to navigate the intricate process of studying abroad.
The Center for African Research currently planning collaboration with the Labrador National Student Union is thrilled to announce the launch of the National Study Abroad 2-day symposium. This transformative event is set to take place on the 21st and the 29th at the prestigious Eddie Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex. Under the theme Powering Liberians for Professional and Academic Opportunities, Mapping Your Study Abroad Journey. The symposium aims to empower Liberians that are seeking graduate and undergraduate studies abroad programs by providing a comprehensive platform. We aim to equip participants with the knowledge, skills, and resources necessary to navigate the intricate process of study abroad. We believe that study abroad experience plays a crucial role in national growth and also a crucial role in youth empowerment and the future prospect of our country. Hence, the study abroad program that we intend to offer in terms of capacity building will provide countless benefits for Liberian students, including exposure to different cultures, enhanced academic opportunity, understanding, and the development of essential skills needed to thrive in a globalized world. By encouraging students to pursue study abroad, we also believe that we are investing in their capacity to become future leaders, professionals, and innovators who can contribute significantly to the development of our great country. During the symposium, as explained by the president, attendees will have the opportunity to partake in engaging workshops, interactive sessions, and panel discussions led by distinguished scholars, educational experts, and professionals in their field. These experts will provide valuable insight in the topics such as planning the right courses, engaging in application process, understanding funding mechanisms for study abroad, navigating through different programs and scholarships in different areas. And our objective at the end of this event is to empower participants to independently seek and apply for opportunities and also set out global study abroad opportunities for themselves.
For his part, Liberia National Students Union President Mohamed Gandhi Kamara expressed delight in the union's collaboration with the Center for African Research Colony PAD. He said Linsu will ensure the success of the summit as he encouraged Liberian students to take advantage of the opportunity.
The Liberia National Students Union, in collaboration with the African Policy to formally launch or formally introduce the Study Abroad Summit, 2 days summit that will be held on the 21st and the 29th at the ministerial complex of this month. The Liberia National Students Union is very pleased to be in such collaboration because many of us graduating from high school don't have any knowledge as to what we want to become in the future. So we got in touch with our brother Wonku, who is a student currently in Europe for the United States, and he told us that it was necessary that we have a collaboration to help our other colleagues who want to advance in academia but probably do not have the guidance. And we thought that Lindsay was the best place to have the conversation. And so because of that, we agreed to have this 2 days Sunday. And today we are calling on the media, the public to take it very serious. And in consultation with the National Executive Committee also, we have also deemed it necessary that after the summit, because having a summit is one thing, but after the summit, what next? So we also agreed to have internet service at headquarters community where we need to provide free service for all of the students who want to attend the summit to guide them in their application. It's not only to begin apply, sometimes so we also have people who will mentor you to guide you through your career path. And by that, you will understand to be an excellent of what you're going to do. And at the end of the day, we are very certain that at the end of the day, all of us will go to another level. Another thing we're also going to be getting clear at the summit is to guide you through your application process.
Mohammed Gandhi Kamara is the president of the Liberia National Students Union. Before was the voice of the head of the African Research Collective, Wanto Tia Wanto. The Director General of the National Commission on Higher Education, Dr. Edward Wakonyo, has lauded the Ministry of Education for the launching of over 900,000 copies of textbooks and teacher guides for use in senior and secondary schools in Liberia. The Ministry of Education, through the Improving Resource in Secondary Education project, with support from the World Bank, Wednesday officially launched the initiative. Dr. Wankoyo, speaking during the exercise, said the textbooks, which comprise mathematics, English language and literature, chemistry, physics, and biology, will enhance excellence in the education sector in Liberia.
I would like to express my utmost gratitude to the organizers of this program for extending an invitation to me to grace this occasion. I must also appreciate the authors and publishers of these textbooks for this impressive collection of knowledge that will go a long way to impact the Liberian society. There is no doubt that these books are indeed initiatives of the highest standard which have new contributions to make to the world of knowledge. As the Director General of the National Commission on Higher Education, I want to use this occasion to encourage other scholars to go into writing and publication of books. We need more writers to help change the dynamics in Liberia. We need more team books, we need monographs, we need articles, we need journals, etc. To conclude my remarks at this all-important occasion, please permit me to quote the words of Benjamin Franklin, an American statesman and scientist. Quote, if you do not want to be forgotten after your death, either do something that others will write or write something that others will read.
Also speaking at the launching ceremony, the proxy of the World Bank country representative to Liberia, Ms. Binta Massaquoi, expressed delight in the initiative. She pledged the World Bank continued support to improving education in Liberia.
On behalf of the World Bank Country Manager, Ms. Georgia Wallen, and the World Bank team, I would like to congratulate the Ministry of Education under the leadership of Professor D. Ansu Soni for this very important milestone under the Improving Results in Secondary Education project. This project, which aims to improve equitable access to and quality of secondary education, is very important because it tries to address the most critical challenges facing Liberia's national development, its human capital. There are several components aimed at improving access to learning and the learning environment, increasing opportunities for girls to transition to and complete senior secondary education, improve the quality of teaching in senior high schools, strengthening pre-service teacher training, providing opportunities for acquisition of digital skills and competencies, and finally, providing teaching and learning materials to all senior secondary schools in Liberia. Textbooks are essential for improving students' learning outcomes, as it sets as a base for a structured understanding of the entire syllabus, and it helps teachers understand the concept and to research to be able to teach efficiently. We want to appreciate the Ministry of Education for this huge undertaking and to assure you that the World Bank remains committed to this partnership. To our students, we urge and encourage you to make use of these resources, whether it's the hard copies or the digital versions, to not only support your classroom learning, but also to prepare you for your exams. To our teachers and our school administrators, these textbooks are aligned with the revised national curriculum. So we urge you to use them to drive instruction and as an effective resource to support your students. Thank you once again to the government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Education, for your leadership and your commitment to increasing access and to improving the quality of learning for all Liberian students.
Binta Massaquoi served as the proxy for the World Bank country representative to Liberia. Earlier on was the voice of Dr. Edward Wonkoyo, the Director General of the National Commission on Higher Education. The political leader of the Liberia Rebuilding Party, Councillor Luther Yofi, has decried decline in relationship Liberians have with God and their fellow citizens, decline in rebuilding lives and rebuilding the economy and infrastructure. Speaking with Freedom News Wednesday, Yofi said any society that ignores God and the basic needs of citizenry is bound for destruction. He said under the government of the Liberia Rebuilding Party, such conditions will be addressed.
Our party is established on four major pillars: rebuilding our relationship with God and our fellow citizens, rebuilding life, rebuilding our economy, and rebuilding our relationship with God and our fellow citizens. Why this pillar? Because we observe now we in this country have drifted further and further away from God. Our relationship with God has further dwindled to such an extent that we can call a closer relationship. We are mostly involved in this relationship activities in recent times as compared to the time in the past. Many of our people are joining brotherhood societies overseas, many other secret societies, and they promote the use of human blood and human body parts in those secret societies for the purpose of acquiring power, catapulting themselves into political offices and the rest of it. And no wonder why during the electoral season, many people are killed in the secret manner. Some of them were body parts missing and the rest of it. But we have shed too many innocent blood in this country. And we believe that the blood of the innocent are crying unto God for justice. And if we don't reconcile with God, that is rebuilding our relationship with God, this nation will never be blessed, will never make progress. So in order for God to heal our land, we in the National Rebuilding Party are of the belief that we need to rebuild our relationship. That is to totally reconcile with God and our fellow Nigerians. Then God will forgive us and He will clean our land. At the cleaning of this land, we believe it will be the beginning of progress. That's why our first pillar is to reconcile with God and our fellow.
At the same time, the Liberia Rebuilding Party political leader, Councillor Luther Yofi, expressed dismay over the level of poverty in the country despite vast resources. He named bad governance, corruption, and other vices as key to the underdevelopment of Liberia, something he said will change under the leadership of the Liberia Rebuilding Party.
We need to rebuild World Bank reports and many other reports have shown that majority of the people in Nigeria are living below the poverty line. But if you look on the overall, our country has been blessed tremendously by God Almighty. We have gold, we have diamond, we have iron ore, we have timber, and we have many other resources. In fact, recent research have shown that we have copper, we have bauxite, in order, uranium, and all. But just that, they gave a listing of 20 different elements beneath our soil. But because we lack the technical know-how and the capacity to excavate those elements in order to make use of them, they are still beneath our self and with the vast resources God has blessed us with, and with the limited number of people population-wise, so 5.2 million people, with the vast resources we have, then the question is, why are we still poor and suffering? And somebody will answer, we can provide for that question. By government, by leadership. We find it all up with it. They share wickedness in our leaders. When people get to power, or people power, they preach about fighting rampant corruption. They preach about equity in the country. They preach about how they will rebuild the lives of people. But as soon as they explain to the leadership, everything changed overnight. And then they begin to steal like others, buying houses in foreign land, and they leave the majority of the people to wipe as their friends. They are very, very practical to change that. We want to do it. And the way we want to do it is to create more jobs is to make sure that others in our country are not deprived of their livelihood.
Is the political leader of the Liberia Rebuilding Party, Councillor Luther Yofi. The leadership of the Liberia Pharmaceutical Students Association has highlighted plans ahead of the celebration of the World Pharmacy Day. Speaking with Freedom News Thursday, the president of the Liberia Pharmaceutical Students Association, Romeo Gono, said the program, which is expected to take place on September 25, will bring together pharmacists from across the country to inform the world of the importance of pharmacies. Gono also said the essence of the celebration is to set an agenda for this year's ahead, retrospect on the work that have been done, and to appreciate their profession.
World Pharmacist Day. It is a very, very unique day to pharmacists as professionals. So when we talk about World Pharmacist Day, probably we want to go to the historicity of it. So in 1912, we had the formation of the World Pharmacist Day. So it was when the International Body of Pharmacists, so we call that the International Federation of Pharmacists. So they established the World Pharmacist Day. So it was on September 25th, 1912, that the institution was founded. So International Pharmaceutical Federation, called the FRP. So it was founded in 1912 on September 25th. And then going forward, we set the day aside to be celebrated by pharmacists worldwide, so that to make the world know that there are a specific group of professionals for pharmacists, and on that day we need to celebrate them as professionals, as healthcare workers, all well-meaning professionals. There should be a time to reminisce on your past, to think about your past, to plan, to re-strategize and see how far you have come as a profession, and how far you intend to go, what are your goals, what are some of the things that you have achieved. So as professionals, we want to celebrate the World Pharmacist Day in as much as pharmacists are integral part of the health team. They are involved in patient care, they are involved in proper drug delivery, they are involved in manufacturing of medications. These are some of the important things pharmacists have been working around, right? So if pharmacists are charged to do all these things, and then there should be a day set aside, if we are actually serving humanity, we should also be celebrated. So I think it is from that rationale that we want to celebrate pharmacists globally. This year will be one of the first time that the celebration is going to consider all of the counties bringing pharmacists together. LMHRA, Ministry of Health, trying to incorporate the student body so that we can see our best. It can be decentralized to all pharmacists in Liberia and also to other healthcare practitioners.
hotlbr.com.
This is the time we come together to keep our country safe forever. So open up your heart, let us true love come in. Love is all we need to make a stand. Let's all stand one another. Let's live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Free Liberia. Then a liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Free Liberia. Land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. The one and only home that we have. Free Liberia. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Free Liberia. Land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. The one and only home that we have. Free Liberia. Land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Free Liberia. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Ladies and gentlemen, Zaki Jiba will now dedicate this song to the Liberian people. After the period of 133 years of one party system, it time that the Liberian people will vote and choose their own leaders. So let us all celebrate a peaceful election for unity and prosperity. Yeah! Ooh la la! This world is not for war. God made all of us to be together in this war. Black, white, brown, red, yellow. So we don't want trouble. We don't want the fire. We don't want the trouble. We don't want the fire. Yeah. Let's come together and work together. Trouble is with our problem. Discrimination is our problem. Let's come together and work together. We don't want no fight. We don't want no confusion. We don't want no fight. We don't want no confusion. Yeah. Let's celebrate and have a good time. Let's celebrate and have a good time. Let's show them and sing together, baby. So, oh, sweet Liberia, let us be free. Oh, sweet Liberia, let us freedom. Oh, sweet Liberia, election. Oh, sweet Liberia, let your name be. Sweet Liberia, don't be the making dead. Sweet Liberia, let us celebrate. Sweet Liberia, election commission. Sweet Liberia, don't be the making dead. Sweet Liberia.
Zach and Jiva there with the song Sweet Liberia. Let's take down the music to bring you more developments on the weekend edition of Freedom News Insight. A Liberian identified as George Tais, Horlenon District Number 15 Representative Abu Kamara, and the government to resolve continuous flooding in the district, particularly the vicinity of Caldwell. Speaking Thursday, the Freedom News Star said since a heavy downpour of rain September 4, many residents were made homeless with their properties destroyed. He lamented that for the past 6 years they have been experiencing difficulties as a result of flooding, something he said needs to be addressed urgently.
Enter our houses, the poor people belong to good money. Then we feel that the honorable can see our condition. So according on the central government to appeal through Abu that to him that he can honorable Abu can our island we should put on the ground. One see our condition yellow. The alley, our alley that yeah, dropping there on the one deck. For it to open so that we have a way to go in our community. Past 6 years, the water be coming. Since we think the water just start coming 6 years. But the one I really want, the more than anyone, the one I carry September 4 is very big. Enter houses now, and I'm only doing that. The enter houses to your knee level. Poor people belonging. Your thing on the ground with straw. People set them, all they want expert water enter there. So it's a serious issue. Some people slept outside. So now we still got voting, but all in the house gone down. We can't make it the central government go through Abu can't put go in the outside water, we about second power, you must be we about it can make it. The other part say ya die and hey, then they can't help all this at least to different the roadside. Right after the bridge in the swamp, bridge bank, that's our community all the way going to different part of the swamp. They are all broken down. So the community now, you get it, you get your friend, you look at your friend, oh, you can't go there. Look at the other poor houses, but the houses are needy. The community is large in the swamp, but there's no connection point to get to your friend and to go to council. So we beg the government to Abu Bukan and see our problem. Our foreign way they can solve our problem. See how you can beg it. We're here in the election.
The former chairman of Slipway Community is accusing Montserrat County District Number 8 Representative candidate Isaac Crow of allegedly trying to create problems within the community. According to Michael Davis, Isaac Crow forcibly seized a motorbike that belongs to him from the rider only identified as Red on grounds that he and Red had a confrontation. Davis said Crow beat the rider and took the bike at his house and locked it up without informing the police into the matter.
There is a young man by the name of Isaac Crow who contending that he wants to be a lawmaker. This morning I gave a little boy a motorbike to put gas in the motorbike. He said the little boy had a confrontation initially. He went and seized the motorbike for the boy, fortunately beat the boy, and then took the motorbike to the house and locked the motorbike up. Now why we have come to the police, so the police intervened, so we have a redress from the police. Just to go put gas inside because we have an operation today to go on. Because as we speak, I'm in the camp of Honorable Charles Buddhist Grade. And he wanted me to contest, and he wanted me to run campaign for him, and anything is refused. So all I know, because he knew today we're starting our campaign in the various communities, and I was supposed to use the motorbike for the operation, he seized the opportunity to do what it takes, thereby causing some effort, impeding our work for today, simply because previous time they always accusing us of electoral violence, and we have been advised by our honorable lawmaker not to be involved. Anything that has to do, we will report it to the police. Now, why we have come to the police, so we can register our case with the police, let the police need to know that indeed we are free from violence, we are not up to violence. The police just demanded, and I think you were on the scene when the police demanded him to go for the motorbike at your house. The police escorted him. They went for the motorbike at his house. They bought a motorbike, and as you can see, some of the parts are missing. Even the new umbrella we bought for the motorbike yesterday is not there. And as you can speak, you see the man bringing all the umbrella to try to replace the new umbrella. We say no to it. That's why it's been the king at the Silver Police Station until they can produce the umbrella. We want to advise them to be aware of lawbreakers who are creeping in the form of lawmakers. As you can see, this is a case study. Somebody who wants to be a lawmaker, seizing somebody's motorbike, taking the motorbike to his own house, confiscating it. Just imagine when you see that kind of person power. Now why we involve the police now, so the police can.
He confiscated the car without involving the police.
Without involving the police, the man taking law into his hand and say wants to be a lawmaker, the man is a lawbreaker. So we are calling on people in this about it not to voting, not to be a single vote, because the men are lawbreaker is not working the confines of the law. You can see what the man then doing. The man is bent on creating havoc and confusion in the community.
And I tell you, folks, on that note, this is how we draw down the curtains on today's edition of Freedom News Inside, the final edition for the week. But just before we say goodbye to you, these are developments we've been following on this edition of the program. President George Weah departs Liberia for international engagements and to participate in the 78th United Nations General Assembly. National Legislature convenes dialogue with Korean delegation, discusses series of productive issues aimed at enhancing economic and social ties between Liberia and South Korea. Liberia Telecommunications Authority holds technical meetings to address communication and security measures to ensure a transparent and peaceful electoral process for the upcoming October 10 presidential and legislative elections. And away from home, Mali's ruling junta has canceled festivities planned for the anniversary of the country's independence celebrated on September 22. Many thanks to all of those who have packaged this edition of Freedom Notes Insight. My name is Wendell Nimne. I presented a pleasant good morning. Freedom FM 87.9 broadcast into your programs of information, education, as well as